So sometimes on the justice front, it's 2 steps up and 1 step back. Today, it was a step back. But we've got to keep moving. We've got to keep fighting because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So it feels like justice took a bit of a hit today, with the 2 lead prosecutors in the New York District Attorney's investigation into Donald Trump and the Trump Organization resigning, reportedly in protest. Here is the reporting from the New York Times. 2 prosecutors leading New York Trump inquiry resign, clouding case's future. And that article begins, the 2 prosecutors leading the Manhattan District Attorney's investigation into former President Donald J. Trump and his business practices abruptly resigned on Wednesday amid a month-long pause in their presentation of evidence to a grand jury, according to people with knowledge of the matter, throwing the future of the high-stakes inquiry into serious doubt. The prosecutors, Carrie R. Dunn and Mark F. Pomerantz, submitted their resignations after the new Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg indicated to them that he had doubts about moving forward with a case against Mr. Trump, the people said. The precise reasons for Mr. Bragg's pullback are unknown, and he has made few public statements about the status of the inquiry since taking office. In a statement responding to the resignations of the prosecutors, a spokesman for Mr. Bragg said that he was grateful for their service and that the investigation was ongoing. Now, friends, a couple of observations. First of all, when a new elected district attorney comes in, it's not at all unusual for there to be shakeups in the office, turnover, because a new DA will almost always bring with him or her new priorities, new focus, and that can result in significant changes in any prosecutorial office. But there's some things about this story that don't seem to add up. The new DA, Alvin Bragg, has only been in the job since January 1st. That is barely enough time to get a full appreciation of the entire investigation of the Trump Organization that has been up and running for years now, an investigation that has produced sizable indictments, an indictment of the Trump Organization for a 15-year-long criminal scheme to defraud in the first degree, an indictment that also charges Allen Weisselberg, the chief financial officer of the Trump Organization for decades, charges him with a 15-year-long criminal scheme to defraud in the first degree and other charges. Now, yes, we know Donald Trump ran the Trump Organization like a mob boss, sort of like he, ran the White House and ran his presidency. So, yes, it might be a little bit more challenging to get the goods, so to speak, on Donald Trump. But we have ways to deal with that. We prosecute mob bosses. We use the federal RICO laws. New York has available state RICO laws, so-called mini RICO laws. So it doesn't make a lot of sense that this years-long investigation that produced sizable indictments against the Trump Organization and its chief financial officer, Allen Weisselberg, somehow can't quite muster enough evidence to charge the namesake, Donald Trump himself, with crimes. And of course, the 2 lead prosecutors have now resigned, walked away from that case. Now, as is often the case, when we're trying to figure out what goes on behind closed doors in a prosecutor's office, we don't know what we don't know. But what do we know? Well, we know that just a few weeks ago, Donald Trump told his supporters to engage in massive protests if any prosecutors go after him. What happened last time Donald Trump told his supporters to march in protest? We also know, as I just mentioned, that there was more than enough evidence to indict Donald Trump's organization and Donald Trump's chief financial officer with multiple crimes that they committed over the course of more than a decade. We know that. But maybe, just maybe, in his short time in office, Alvin Bragg dug into nothing but the evidence that has been amassed over the last few years that the Manhattan DA has been investigating Trump and his organization, and he legitimately concluded, well, just somehow the evidence is lacking. It's not quite there to charge Donald Trump. I guess that's a possibility. And let me hasten to add, as a former career prosecutor, I would never want anybody charged, including Donald Trump, if there was insufficient evidence to bring a charge. But come on, friends. We have seen Donald Trump commit so many crimes in the harsh light of day for which he has yet to be held accountable. Do we really think there's not enough evidence to charge him with committing crimes in his leadership of the Trump organization, when that organization committed crimes and his chief financial officer committed crimes? Possible, but so I don't think we know enough yet about this story to reach any definitive conclusions. But any way you slice it, today feels like a step back on the justice front. And I've already seen people on social media after hearing about this story saying, you see, justice doesn't matter, or asking the question, does justice really matter? It does to me, and I'm betting it does to you too. And you know, the career criminals like Donald Trump and his corrupt associates, they want us to feel desperate and despondent and defeated. And I will not give them that satisfaction. So on the fight for justice front, as Jackson Browne would say, you know, when the morning light comes streaming in, we'll get up and do it again. Because justice matters. Friends, hang in there. Please stay safe. Please stay tuned. And I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.